Buenos días, clase de español 2. This is Señor Irvin, and welcome to this amazing world by our friend PB Jelly Games and the company MindGauge to get some inspiración, some inspiration for this week's global tasks. And what PBJ has done is he's created an amazing little snippet of one of his worlds, and you can see it just looks just amazing. Just look at the way that the houses are constructed, and we're getting inspired here. Hopefully you're getting nice and inspired by just the way that these look. And what this is Elizabethan London. You can just see the way that this construction has taken place, and you can always pause this and come back to this when we're trying to get our inspiración. Because what we're going to do is we're going to visit a place in El Mundo de Leyendas called Londres Pequeño, Little London. And this happens to be one of the buildings that you guys will all help to create. It is called in English the Globe Theater, and in Espanol Teatro Globo. And what you will do is you will create the Globe Theater. And what we're going to be doing actually is entering a competition against other students around the world who are also going to be competing in a contest here. Everybody's going to be doing all kinds of different things besides doing builds. They may actually do some plays. They may do some different things. And let's take a look at that contest real quick. We'll skip over to that right now. And I've included this link here. And it's just basically for the 400th year anniversary of William Shakespeare. And as PBJ says, William Shakespeare was actually the first YouTuber, as he says right here. You'll want to take a look at this entire webpage. It is just awesome. And what he's doing is basically he lets people download the map, and that's the reason why I have it here. And he lets you go ahead and do some creative stuff, build, design, do some creative things inside of it. What we're going to do is we are going to use his world, and I'll cruise around it in just a bit, to get some inspiration to enter this contest. And what the contest is, we have a classroom category here, and we can earn or win up to $200, which would be amazingly awesome if we go ahead and do that. But no matter what, it'll be just amazingly awesome just to go ahead and construct some things like this. And you can just see that this Globe Theater is just magnificent, just amazingly beautiful. And let's take a cruise around the city, the snippet of the city of London, just to get some inspiration again, so you can kind of tell the way that the construction took place, so that when we start building, we use a similar construction. And this is just amazing. Even the church, which is located over here, is just really neat. It's not gigantic, but it is just really pretty, and just probably pretty accurate to what we would expect during this time period. So what we're looking for from you guys is what is the actual assignment this week. Let's take a look, and that's the reason why I'm doing this video. I've written this down, but I'm going to go ahead and translate it in English. I'm going to put the video link right here. That's what you're watching right now. And we have basically these 5 objectives. The first one, it says you need to speak with Shakespeare. And I'm going to show you that in just a little bit. I'm going to pause the video, go to my world, or to your world, basically, the Mundo de Leyendas, and then start getting you some stuff. And Shakespeare's going to give you all kinds of statements. He's going to be giving Shakespearean statements en Espanol. So what you're going to want to do is catch at least 3 of these phrases, and then write them down, and then make sure you submit that also with all of the rest of your objectives here for the week. The next thing that we're going to be looking at this week is you're going to be picking up a book and quill. And Shakespeare's going to have this book and quill. Let's take a look at the book and quill again. The book and quill is just an amazing thing to have, and I've just forgot about using it. What you do is you right-click the book and quill, and you can begin to write your journal entries. You can start writing the dates, like today is 24 de Abril, and you can just go ahead and start writing en Espanol. Tell me about things that you saw. Yo miro. What did you have? Tengo. What did you kill? Yo mato. What did you eat? Como. And so on and so forth. Tell me about all of the different things that you did. And eventually, at the end, you're going to carry this along with you throughout the entire week and journal in it. And you can have multiple pages. That's what's amazing about these little journals. And at the end of the week, you sign it. and you put a book title. You can call it whatever you want to go and call it. I'm going to call it El Diario de Irvin. Senor Irvin's journal. And I'm just going to sign it. What's super awesome about it, let's take a look at it in my inventory. When you submit this, when you turn this in at the end of the week, I'm going to have a place for you to go ahead and put this in. That will be well protected. It will make sure that nobody can touch it. But what's amazing is that nobody can even mess with it, because now it's El Diario de Irvin. No one can go back in and change anything or do anything to it except read it. Okay? So that's a super cool item. Let's go back to the list here. And that's this second thing here. It says, Entrega un diario, turn in a journal about your trip, okay, to Londres, and talking about Shakespeare and anything else that you've done throughout the week. What else do you have to do? Well, we're going to visit a town in just a little bit. It's going to be Londres. I have El Puente, the bridge, the London Bridge, but I don't have the town, and that's what you're going to be working on. We need casas, construye casas en el estilo de Londres. So we have this beautiful style here of these homes that were built you know, in the 1700s during Shakespeare time. You use that inspiration to be able to go ahead and construct some of those houses. Along with that, we're going to also do our best to create un Teatro Globo. Now, what's cool about our build is that it's completely in survival mode. So we have to go get the trees. We have to get the supplies to be able to make these things happen. We don't just get to use creative mode. So that makes it that much more complex and difficult. As you do these things, okay, make sure that you take pictures while you are creating each of these things, okay? Cool. Finally, I have, I'm going to go ahead and zip over to the world so you can see it, but I have another NPC quest that is a fun adventure after you've completed all of these other things that you can go ahead and do. And it's well worth it, as Julieta is going to pay you very well with 100 pesos, 100 pesos. So let's go take a look at our build. Muy bien, we're back in Mundo de Leyendas, and you are right beside your barco that you guys created. We have a teleport block, which you're going to right-click, and you're going to zoom down to find the new open slot, which is called El Puente de Londres Pequeño, so London Bridge, Little London Bridge, and we are going to click it and zoom over to Little London, and hopefully this works. Yep, and there's our bridge, and you know you're in the right place if you see that. We're going to head over here to Londres Pequeño as we cross the bridge, and then we're going to meet up with some of our characters here. Aquí dice, bienvenidos a Londres. Please don't try to mine any of this iron, as I've gone through and done this very carefully. I put some disallow blocks below it, but it's possible, I suppose, that you might be able to mine it. Please don't do so, okay? You're going to have a couple of different people here. First of all, let's go in and we have Shakespeare. And you're going to do a couple of things with Shakespeare. First of all, you can right-click him, and he gives you all kinds of quotes. Look at the quote over here on the left. I can move away from him, too. And on the left block here, and he gives you a really cool quote. Get those quotes down. We can right-click him again. He's going to give us another one. En la amistad y en el amor, es más feliz con la ignorancia que con el saber. Perfect. Get 3 of those quotes down, type them up, okay, and then submit those so that I know you were with Shakespeare. Also, Shakespeare is going to be the one that's going to give you the book and quill. It's got to be him, right? We got to make it him. Let's go ahead, and he gives away free books and quill because he wants you to go ahead and do some writing. So we'll go here on the trader function and put it right there. You'll be able to pick it up right from el señor Shakespeare, el escritor. Talking about Shakespeare, we have Julieta out here. And Julieta, we're going to go ahead and, if she ever looks at me, we're going to right-click her, and she has an NPC adventure. And here she's talking about Romeo, okay? She's trying to find Romeo. If you take on that quest, you'll say, sí, yo te voy a ayudar a encontrar Romeo. She's offering 100 pesos and 100 experiencia. So it might well be worth it for you to go ahead and do that adventure. Also, over here on the opposite side, we have a new vendedor, Vicente, and I think you'll find some of these items to be just amazingly awesome. But they do cost a pretty penny. That's why you might want to do the adventure with Julieta. Over here, I've placed already some paths so that you could get have some ideas about where should we go ahead and start building up our little town of London, our Londres Pequeño. And you're going to build it throughout here. The Globe Theater, you can place it anywhere out in these areas, wherever you decide that you're going to be placing it, probably out in these areas right here. We'll make sure that there's plenty of trees everywhere so that you can go ahead and be able to construct both the new homes and the new Globe Theater here. Okay, so those are the big deals as far as for this week. Again, for you, each day and each time you're carrying around your book and quill, I want you to start writing inside of your journal. Okay, you need to write inside of a journal. This will keep you accountable as far as for what you're doing. You're going to actually submit that journal. Tell me what you've been doing each of the different days en Espanol. The next thing you're going to be doing is constructing homes in London Pequeño. Not just one home, but several homes. Use the previous things from PBJ's build for inspiration. And then finally, or second to last, we're going to build a Teatro Globo. You can look online for the Globe Theater to get some ideas. You can also look online. I think there's all kinds of Globe Theaters that have been built that are in Minecraft also. See? And then, of course, take pictures as you're helping to create these things. Now, I don't want the end product. I'll see the end product. I want you to see what you were doing as we were building it. And that should be, F2 should be your favorite button. You can use F2 all the time, taking pictures of what you go ahead and do. Shouldn't be submitting like 3 or 4 pictures. You should submit 30 or 40 pictures by the end of the week. Finally, the Romeo and el Libro Perdido. Read the quest that's given to you by Juliet, and then go find Romeo. Remember to do this after you've done everything else, okay? It's because you can always come back to this one right here. Cool. That's all I've got. If you got questions, send me a message or come and talk to me. Adios. Hasta la vista.